My name is Alex Lau, and I was born and raised in the UK. And my father's a restaurateur, and my mother was in the same industry. And I used to watch my dad work 7 days a week, and in the whole year, he'll just have Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. So of course, I followed suit. So I used to go to school, start at 8, finish at 3, then come home and start work from 5 to 11. I did that all the way up to university. And I used to be at front of house, so I get the opportunity to speak with customers and clients. And if I do get the opportunity, I would love to share the stories with you, because I find them rather fascinating. So shortly after graduating university, I came to Hong Kong. So I just literally had the world at my feet, and I was enthralled by the nostalgia of it all. But then I realized accountancy, which I studied, wasn't right for me. It didn't give me an environment which could get to me where I wanted to be. So here's the situation. Now I'm in Hong Kong, not being able to speak Mandarin, and embarrassingly Cantonese. I kind of wish I took those lessons when I was younger. No existing network connections, no cultural background of Hong Kong, and I joined the profession as a wealth advisor with no base income. Brilliant. Given the choice, I'm pretty sure none of you guys would have chosen that sort of route. So why is this invention I mentioned so important? Well, this is what I used it for. And how do you guys feel about selling? How do you feel about salespeople? The feedback I get is always transactional. You know, when you walk into a retail shop and then someone follows you around, and just when you see something you like, they'll run over to someone else because they see as they can buy something more. And from my personal experience, when I'm shopping with my other half, she sold on the 2 words of limited edition and last one in stock. But actually, it's not happening on the retail front. It's also happening in business and sometimes in personal as well. The point is, selling is fundamental. And think about it. Every business needs it. But the salespeople have the most important job because they've got to do business development and, of course, manage the expectations from that side. And they also have to provide a service to the customers. And yet, if they provide a service to the customers with no transaction, they would literally have done that, provided a service with no result. So is there a way for the salesperson to manage both sides of the pressures? Well, I'm not so sure, really. Is there a way? Well, let me show you 3 stories that are of mine, personally. So I remember seeing a client, and I got into the elevator. And as soon as I got in, this gentleman walked in. And I looked at him and I smiled to him. He looked at me and said, "So what department are you in?" And I said, "Sorry, I'm not a lawyer. I specialize in wealth management." I introduced my name and gave him my business card. Then I said to him, "So what's your name, sir, and how long have you been here for?" And as soon as the lifts went to the bottom floor and they opened and we stepped out, I said to him, "Can we have a coffee together? Because I want to learn from you." And he looked at me and said, "Yes." So I was like, oh, phew. We deal with rejections all the time, and that was when I didn't want one. So we met for a coffee the following week. And when he sat me down, I realized that he was the managing partner of the firm, the top guy. So I said to him, "What is the secret to your success? How did you get to where you were?" And he looked at me and said, "Of all the business I've done, my best work was helping a close friend merge with another company. Now, it wasn't the biggest or the one with the most financial value, but it was the most fulfilling." And this gentleman taught me the importance of good, strong relationships. Now, another story was my mentor. And my mentor, he had an individual that approached him to look for his service. And she was setting up a business and wanted to see how best to manage the portfolio. So my mentor simply said, "Don't do anything with me. I think you should go away, set up your business, and I'll help you with anything you want throughout your whole journey." And how surprising is that? How common is it for most other salespeople to force sell you, in quote, to make a transaction? It turns out a few months later, the individual didn't sell up the business and went back to my mentor to manage all her portfolio. And on top of that, she was introduced to him more clients. So what did I learn? Be of as much value as you can. Now, business may not come back effective immediately, but if you do a good job, good, honest work, I guarantee it will come back far more profoundly. Now, this doesn't have to be business related, like I've just said. Now, a good buddy of mine called Arthur, and he's a good kid. I really wanted him to do well. So I shared a lot of my stories and a lot of my philosophies. And I remember he was trying to apply for this particular job. And of all the people applying for it, he was the one that got in. And that was one of the leading investment banking companies in the world. So I said to him, what did you do differently? And he said, well, I reached out to people and I really was sincere about how to learn from them. And then during the whole group project, he was thinking, how can I be of more value? And of course, on the last, which I think is most important, because his hobby is magic, in the last interview, he performed a magic trick. And of course, he left a memorable experience. And of course, I'm not telling you, every single one of you here, to be a magician. Just find your own unique expression. He took me out for lunch to say thank you for everything I taught him. And this is my point. Everything that I've done has not been because of me. It's all because of the kindness of the people around me that shared their stories and allowed me to be where I was. They gave me hope and allowed me to believe. So the invention I mentioned earlier, I would say the greatest invention ever created is good, effective, old-fashioned communication. Take them out for dinner as well. And unfortunately, it's a dying art. I think too many of us are using too much time on social media and emails to do business. I mean, when was the last time a stranger sent you an email to tell you to buy something and you did? We should never forget what is core of good communication, and that is us, not the tools. Tony Fadell, the creator of the iPod, and of course subsequently the iPhone, he has a philosophy, and that is no screen Sundays. And I think that's brilliant. The individual that has reshaped our behavior of how we use this technology has an understanding of that. And I think that we should have the same philosophy. So next time, I'll leave on this note. When you walk inside an elevator and you see someone come in, smile and say hello. I guarantee something amazing will happen. So thank you.